Swear the way I know you, girl, you could be 90s. Buzz the shot when you got perfect timing. Romeo and Juliet, stars in alignment. Climb on top, baby, surfboard grinding.
Hi, this is Alexandria Narado with officially KMUSIC, and we're here with an exclusive interview of
Phe R.E.D.S.
Alright. We know that you were a part of b-boy crew AOM, Art of Movement originally. Were you practicing music during this time as well, or was that something that you kind of started afterwards as a result of b-boying?
So breaking came first. I was training at this community center called Jefferson Community Center, and that was with like Chase and Tony and Junior and a whole bunch of the AOM family. And so we kind of just all were just practicing together and just became a crew. And then it wasn't until after I had left Seattle for the service where I was entering singing competitions and performing and doing national anthems and stuff. And so that kind of started. It was like I was really passionate about singing and dancing, so I wanted to pursue that and went to study for a little bit. So it was breaking first and singing second.
Singing second. And is in your life right now, is it still that
order?
line?
It kind of is, actually. So singing does take kind of a backseat to breaking. I think it's just how I'm wired. I prefer to dance, but yeah. My sister-in-law always says that I'm a better singer than a dancer, but I kind of disagree.
You kind of have a ballad-type tone in your music. Is that something that was brought out experimentally after practicing and like doing a few different songs, or is that a style that you want to portray to people? I'm thinking about Smile in particular, I feel like.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that plug in. So Donny Hathaway was probably one of my biggest influences, and he's a soul singer, and so just these really long, really beautiful timbre tone notes, and so I was drawn to that initially, and then eventually it kind of moved over to Amy Winehouse, and so like even part of the set that I'll be playing tonight, it'll have some Amy Winehouse influences. You'll be able to pick it out, like, oh, that's a little Winehouse influence. So
when people hear your name, is that something you want them to identify it with style-wise, or is that something that you think maybe you're going to change it up every?
Well, artistically, I think, you know, when somebody says, oh, you sound like, say, Neo or Usher or something like that, I feel like for the artist, they should kind of take offense, like, oh, I sound like somebody else, you know, when it really should be like, I just want to have my own sound.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be distinguishable, where it's like, oh, that's Phe R.E.D.S, that's his sound, that's his voice, I know his voice. So that's what I aspire to be, my own individual sound.
So how has this last year been as a transition into higher and everything? Has it taken away a lot of your time, or would you say it's taken your side time and made it more productive?
I think, so before higher, it was kind of just like, oh, I'd put together my projects and then I'd perform it for friends and family and acquaintances or whoever would come to the show. And then, so it was not too big of a deal, but the transition after higher, and higher not even being a year old yet, you know, it was started in May or April of last year. I mean, just December 2017, just to show the difference, I was performing just for my friends and family and whatever at small little venues, to being in a $50 million penthouse in New York performing for former Vice President Al Gore, you know, who's also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So it's kind of a big jump. So it definitely has taken me higher to that.
Yeah, no pun intended, right?
Yeah, no pun intended.
So could you tell us a little bit about your R.E.D.S album? Yeah,
so R.E.D.S is an acronym for Remember Every Dream Stolen. Before I was going just by my last name, Phe, and I added R.E.D.S to just kind of finally reinvent myself and start fresh, and it was kind of like I have to remember that I'm just doing this for myself, you know, and not so much for anybody else. And so some of the sounds, I wanted to keep it starting out just very like real instruments, so real basses, real pianos, real guitars type of thing. And so it'll be EP, 5-6 songs, and then after that, I think we'll move into like the evolution of moving into synths and different electronic sounds, which I really enjoy. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, what do you hope to achieve this year then, coming to South by Southwest, especially with your showcase?
I hope I don't crack my voice or mess up on stage, but I think it'll be a really good show, and I think everybody has rehearsed quite a bit to make sure we give a good show for everyone. So
I don't think any of that'll happen. I think even if it does happen, it'll give you more of a character name with all of the fans, so it might gain you even more.
Okay.
Well, is there anything that you want to say to your fans, especially here centered in America?
Hey, I'm glad you guys are tuning in and following our journey. It's been a crazy 9 months, I think, that we've had with Hire, and yeah, we've got a long way to go, but I'm glad you guys are tuning in.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and being